1 minute to go. Hi, welcome back to our live stream. So, this is our second live stream for the week. And let me just check if we are now live. So, we are doing multi stream, and we can now multi stream on both platforms, YouTube and Facebook. So I'm seeing myself now. All right. So our topic for today is about the common rant of people, especially in Reddit. So I read this forum on the web, and most people are complaining about the apps, use of apps. So I will not mention any app. This is just language apps in general. And the difference between an app and having like a proper lesson with a coach is that an app will give you generic lessons like the cat is on the table, may I order uh, americano. So if you're in a coffee shop, so you will learn those things in an app, but an app will not teach you how to be authoritative or having that leadership quality. And a human person is a very crucial part of that, of getting the hang of communicating like a leader. So it's not just information, we deliver transformation. So most of the time people are complaining about it. And in this lesson, I will give you some tips on how you can get away from that app trap. Like you feel that you are in that plateau, so you don't progress anymore, and you're just being addicted to the apps that you're using. So, why your app is lying to use? 500 days of using an app won't help you explain a port error or a medical diagnosis. So if you are in IT, it's not specific. So most of the lessons that you see there are very generic. Like I will not mention the app name, but there are instances that I tried using it, and it works like it is programmed to teach someone like in school, like a child. So those are okay if you're just trying to be a tourist. You want to be a tourist who will survive in a specific region or location or country. That's fine. But if you're going to use laser focus techniques, like what Michael Jordan said, like if you are laser focused, you'll achieve your goals. So if you are very specific with your industry and you would like to be known as a leader or have this higher perceived value, like what they say in marketing. So you want to be someone that has an authority, and you have the potential to be promoted, not just stay in the same position for 20 or 30 years. So if you have that dream, you need to be laser focused. And apps won't give you that accomplishment. So if you're if you're a medical doctor and you are trying to diagnose someone and giving your prescription, so the apps might not be able to help you directly. And apps teach you general knowledge, like what I said. It's like cat is on the table. May I order iced latte or americano? But careers require specific authority. So depending on your field. So you might be an IT director or IT manager, but you cannot communicate the technical terms with your colleagues who are from other regions. So that will be an issue for you. So apps will not uh, provide that specific objective. Okay, so you don't need to order a croissant in Paris. You need to lead a meeting in Tokyo or in Bangkok or in Munich or in Sweden or something like that. So you don't do that in real life, like in your real career. You just don't rely on those basic phrases and sentences that apps provide. So you need someone to talk to, like a real person. Sometimes it helps, like what we did in previous live stream. So I showed you how to co-pilot. What I mean is how to use AI as your co-pilot. So instead of just asking for grammar exercises, you can interact with AI in order for it to give you specific answers or specific solutions. So you can use that if you are at that level where you can communicate via text or maybe voice prompts. So it could be helpful too. So if you know how to use AI to your advantage so that you can be specific with your industry, like marketing, logistics, IT, healthcare, or hospitality. So you can be very specific and talk to it like your buddy. The one size fits none problem. So generic, the cat is on the table, like what we said earlier. Or can I order a croissant for me and my friend? So those are generic English. Personalized, the shipment is delayed due to a tier one system failure. So this is very crucial and very specific with your industry. So given this sentence, it looks like it's from uh, the logistics industry. So if you have someone to talk to or interact with this in mind, you can easily absorb the language in your specific industry. So that's the difference between an app and a coach or maybe an AI buddy. So our forte is that we just don't use a curriculum, or, although we have. So depending on your industry, we use curriculum, but we also use your real life data. So that's the advantage of having a one-on-one coach. But if you still if you're still looking for your conversation buddies, you can also do that. So try to find a community. It's also different if you can connect with a person at a personal level, like they can share their food, their culture. So it's different if you have someone talking to from a different region like US or Australia. So it depends, and it makes the learning more concrete. So it's more solid if you interact with them and knowing their culture as well. So it helps you absorb the language. There's this theory and research that when we were babies, our brains started to absorb the first language that you learned, and after that, after a year, 12 months, 6 to 12 months, your brain tends to gatekeep, or it does not allow other languages to enter your brain. So when we are younger, you still have that neuroplasticity, but as we grow older, our brains tend to gatekeep other languages from entering our psyche. So it's easier if you can connect with a friend or a community that you can talk about anything, like anything about their culture, your culture. You can share. You have emotions. So that's the difference between AI and a human person. So if you talk to a human being, they have experiences. They can show you. They can tell. That's why even online, when you're speaking with someone and then you share stuff like, hey, I bought this book. So this is a great book. You should read it. You know, the expression, that connection, even the small gestures. That's why when you go to a kindergarten class, great teachers are great demonstrators. So they demonstrate everything. Like when you're doing like a workshop, like cooking some meal, they show you, they act like, I'm squeezing the lemon. I'm s- I'm I'm trying to make the meat smaller by slicing it. So you act. So when you exaggerate things, it's easier for your brain to have that, or to develop that neuroplasticity. So it starts to entertain or not gatekeep those information, or other, maybe the way you pronounce. So if you exaggerate things like word per word, so when you study the word, for example, I have a student in finance, so he is using the word validate. So when they're trying to learn the language, validate, so they exaggerate the words. I need to validate the data. So that's the element that's missing if you are just interacting with an app or an AI. So a human being can point out those things, and we can give you real-time feedback. So that's the difference. It's the same thing on YouTube. If you're just learning on YouTube, YouTube is a passive way of learning, but it does not hear you. It cannot hear you, so it cannot give you feedback. So it cannot say if you are being aggressive or being authoritative. So there's a difference between the two. Like there are people who are full of confidence, but without their knowledge, they're sounding like like a douchebag. Excuse me for the term. Yeah, but there's a thin line between being confident and being a douchebag. And yeah, so if you have someone to tell you that, hey, uh, you're crossing the line, or you're not sounding confident, and if you're pause, so we also have this rhythm of authority that you need to learn how to use the power of pause. So does it make you sound authoritative or unsure? So there's a difference between using a pause in a good way and stuttering. So there's a big difference, and your friends can tell that, or if you have like a community who can guide you on how to express yourself. But if you want to level up, of course, so that's a different thing. You need a coach. You need the English crew. So if you are ready to book that 15-minute audit, we have 15 to 45-minute audit, all you need to do is scan the QR code that you see on the screen. We also have a link in the description of this video. If you're on YouTube or on Facebook, we also have the link there. So while it's still free, take advantage of it, because at some point there will be a situation where maybe we will be overbooked or something. So if you can find time just to give you a feedback about your speaking style, like what are your strengths, your weaknesses, and if your weakness is in this field, you can think of a solution. Do you need to have like a special lesson or something like that? Okay. All right. So just to recap, all right. So an app can help you with the basics. Like you can sound like a tourist. You can survive uh, the the situations in other countries if you're just trying to visit. But if you're trying to be like a leader, be viewed or be perceived as a leader in your team, you need a coach or a speaking buddy. Okay. And trying to avoid the one size fits none. So we want to avoid that. You want to be very specific. So you might be learning how to order a croissant, but your competitor is just like saying in the boardroom, like, we are optimized for 15% growth this year. Our system is optimized. So that that power, that communication level is on point. Okay. And the big bosses or other leaders will see that if you speak that way, not just the very basic, like communicating like a tourist. All right. So if you're ready, just scan the QR code and book your 15 to 45-minute coaching call or audit of your speaking style. Okay. And I'll see you in the next live stream. Bye.